Hello everyone, I Niveta Roda, Assistant Professor in Mathematics, GNM University. Today we will start a topic matrices. That is what is a matrices? First of all, you all have to know that what is a matrix? A matrix is a systematic arrangement of mn elements along rows and columns in a rectangular form. It can be denoted as A is equal to Aij m into n. What is a m? That is a row. What is a n? That is a column, right? It can also denoted in the enclosed bracket, that is A11, A12, A13 and so on A1n. Similarly, second row A21, 22, 23 and so on to n. Similarly, 31, 32, 33 and like that up to so on. That is, I can write it M1, M2, M3 and so on Mn. And what is the order of this matrix? That is M into N matrix, right? Which denotes the M rows and N columns. If I talk about the M rows and N columns, what is the row matrix? What is a row matrix? A matrix in which only one row and multiple columns, right? For example, if we talk about in the example, that is I is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the row matrix? In which there is only one row and the multiple columns, and it can be written as one row and four column, 1 into 4. What is the order of this? 1 into 4. And second is a column matrix. What is the column matrix? In which there is only one column and multiple rows. For example, A is equal to 3, 4, 5, 6. There is only one column, that is one column, and there are 4 rows. 1, 2, 3 and 4 columns. These are the types of the matrices. First type is a row matrix, second is the column matrix. Similarly, we can discuss another type, that is, third one is a rectangular matrix. What is the rectangular matrix? A rectangular matrix in which there is a number of rows is not equal to the number of columns. For example, if I denote the matrix, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rectangular matrix in which there is only 2 rows and 4 columns. I can write it M is not equal to N. And the fourth one is the square matrix. Square matrix. What is a square matrix? Opposite of the rectangular matrix, a square matrix in which the number of rows is equal to the number of columns. Number of rows is equal to number of columns. That is, M is equal to N. We will discuss with this example. You can write it 1, 2, 5, 6, 2 into 2. Where row is M is 2 and column is 2. Another example, I can write it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the 3 into 3 matrix in which the number of rows is equal to the number of columns, right? Fifth one is the diagonal matrix. What is the diagonal matrix? I can say that a square matrix in which all elements are 0 except the diagonal elements. That is, A is equal to, I can write it 1 0 0 0 2 0 0 0 3. In other words, we can also say that only diagonal element exists, rest of the elements all are 0, right? I can also say that this is also the 3 into 3 matrix, right? Next, both looks like the same scalar matrix and a diagonal matrix, but difference is in the diagonal matrix elements are different, 1 2 and 3. In a scalar matrix, a square matrix in which all the diagonal elements are equal. All the diagonal elements are equal. For example, 1 0 0, I say the 2 0 0 0 2 0 0 0 2. This is the scalar matrix. Why we called it a scalar matrix? Because all the elements in the diagonal of the diagonal elements are the same. That is a 2, right? What is the difference between the diagonal matrix and the scalar matrix? Diagonal, in a diagonal matrix, there are the different elements in the diagonal and there are the same equal elements in the scalar matrix. Is it clear? Next one also. Next we talk about a unit matrix. Unit matrix also called as the identity matrix. Identity matrix. I can say, what is the unit or identity matrix? A matrix in which all the diagonal elements are a unit. Unit matlab is equal to 1. That is, for example, 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1, or in a 2 into 2 form 1 0 0 0 1, and similar so on, right? And the next, if we talk about the next type of the matrix, that is the null matrix. What is the null matrix? In a null matrix, all the elements in the matrix all are 0. It can be a 2 into 2 matrix, it can be a 3 into 3, 4 into 4, and so on, right? That is a 2 into 2, or you can write it 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0, right? This is called the null matrix. And the another type is the triangular matrix. Triangular matrix. What is a triangular matrix? A matrix which is either a lower triangular matrix or a upper triangular matrix. Both are involving in this triangular lower matrix or a triangular matrix. Now we will discuss separately these types. In triangular matrix, there is a lower matrix as well as the upper triangular upper matrix. Upper triangular matrix. First we will discuss the upper triangular matrix. Upper triangular matrix. What is the upper triangular matrix? A square matrix in which all the elements below the diagonal elements are 0. For example, if I talk about example, that you can write it a 1 2 3 6 8 9 0 0 and 1. You can see that this is the upper triangular matrix all the elements below the diagonal elements all are 0. Or in other sense, you can say that, in other words, you can say that Aij is a 0 if I is a greater than j. And now what is a I? What is a j? I and j are the elements, that is A11. This denotes the I and this denotes the j. Right? Then I greater than, for example, if I talk about A11, 12, 13, I mark it A11, 12, 13, 21, 22, 23, 31, 32 and 33. You can see that I denotes the first, that is a row, and j denotes the column. I is a 2. 2 is a greater than 1. That element should be a 0 in the upper triangular matrix. And similarly, you can check 3 is a greater than 1. You can check 3 is a greater than of a 2. Rest all are same or less than is equal to I. Right? Next is the lower triangular matrix. Lower triangular matrix. What is the lower triangular matrix? A lower triangular matrix, that is a vice versa of this, in which all the elements above the diagonal elements are 0. If I talk about the lower triangular matrix, I can say that all the elements above the diagonal elements should be 0. Or in other words, I can say that I is less than j. For example, that is here A12. That is 1 is less than of a 2. Next is a 13. 1 is less than of a 3. Similarly, that is a 21, 22 and 23. That is 2 is a less than of a 3. Right? Now the next type, I say that is a equal matrices. We talk about so many types, that is a row, column, diagonal, scalar, unit matrix, triangular matrix, null matrix, and the last one is the equal matrices. When equal matrices, that if we have a two matrices, let it be A and B. These are the equal matrices if they have a same order. If they have a same order, or I can write it Aij is equal to Bij. For example, if I take a x plus 2, 1, 3, y plus 3 is equal, similar I consider a b, that is 2, 4, 6 and 8. I can say that A and B are equal because I have seen that these are of the same order, 2 into 2 matrix. I can see that. And the second condition is Aij is equal to Bij. Both are equal if x plus 2 is equal to 2, y plus 3 is equal to that is a 8. Right? I can write it x is equal to 2 minus 2, which is equal to 0, which implies y is equal to 8 minus 3, that is equal to 5. I get the value of x and y when I say x plus 2 is equal to 2, y plus 3 is equal to 8. So we have studied that the matrices, what is the matrices and the different types of the matrices. We will discuss in our next topic, elementary operations, right? Thank you so much.